special news roundup by myself, GetSelious, and SithScott. We hit the big 1-0, baby. News roundup number 10.
Yay!
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who's been listening to, I would say, watching and liking and sharing videos and subbing to the channel as well. Or for those who first time new to it, yeah, we did 10. I was hoping that this was failed in 5. But Scott realized I have a teenager for Neptunia games, but it hasn't hit there yet.
Hey, we can always do one for a Neptunia game one of these days.
Oh lord, it was just being a little bit fake audience, but yeah. But speaking of non-Neptunia news, I think this one is focused a little indie focused, I believe, right?
Yep, that's what we have on the agenda today. The first one's actually one that I think you brought to my attention. It's the whiteraven game.
Yes. So whiteraven is so far not much news have been published about the game. It's been mostly been screenshots and tweets from their Twitter, but a Kickstarter will be happening soon. Whiteraven, from the description of it, is I would say, tactical RPG where it has romance elements and romantic enemy. The sprite work is insanely gorgeous, so I am looking forward to that much of it to see how well it does. This is definitely a game I'm looking forward to. A Kickstarter, and I hope it's successful in this Kickstarter. That's always something I believe, A lot of games definitely need that Kickstarter love to get there, so I hope this one gets, when it launches, hits its goals and stretch goals beyond. Because, I don't know if you've seen it, our good friend, Mina the Hollower, is over 900,000 USD as of today, February 22nd, so 2022, so, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of money and a lot of stretch goals they have to fulfill.
Yeah. Don't worry. They'll make that documentary for all of us soon. Don't worry about it.
We'll see Mina the Hollower get DLC and stuff for the next 3 years. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, unironically, if the game gets like to 1 million. But yeah, the whiteraven, definitely check it out. We'll put their social media in the description below, so you guys can follow them and check it out. And be sure, if you follow the Kickstarter, hit the save so you're notified when you go live. So you can help pitch in any way you can.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of how it looks like they're going to be adding like a D&D style elements to just the conversations of various things you can do, and then based on like your persuasion stats or your other like intimidation stats, it'll change how the outcome goes.
Yeah, it might lean to like some CRPG games, like if you ever played Shadowfall.
I've heard of that, actually.
Yeah, it might be similar. It may have similarity where your stats matter, how you talk to people and find secret things. But it's super interesting though. I'm definitely looking forward to the game. I think like I said, I think the sprite work is gorgeous. So that's one of my cheap ploys, right?
Yeah, so I hope it does well too. I also like the way like the backgrounds and things look.
Yeah. And speaking of Kickstarter games, I believe there's one that game is just a game that's not Mina the Hollower has hit their stretch goals.
A game called Bow, which actually looks really cool. It's a Metrovania that's based off Japanese folklore, and it actually hit its goal, and it's doing pretty well for itself because it's almost 100 grand past its goal now.
That's crazy. That's Kickstarter, but yeah. I think it'd be pretty interesting. I'm a huge fan of Japanese folklore. If you guys have seen at least one of my streams, I did rant about Yosaki Yojimbo, so you can tell I'm a huge fan of the Japanese folklore and samurai stuff. So yeah, definitely cool. Definitely proud of them hitting the goal, and the game is good. I believe the Kickstarter is still ongoing, so if you check the description below, you can definitely throw some more money their way. More money always helps,
Yeah, some of their goals that they've already hit with their stretch goals have been kind of cool. They are going to adding a cinematic mode. They have Boss Rush added to it. A musical Mayhound, where they give you a soundtrack expansion to the game.
Wow. More music, why not? Sure. Give me the beats.
Always have music.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be adding with the next one, if they hit it, New Game Plus, as well as some added content to the end game.
Interesting. All right, cool. I mean, let's see. Maybe they'll do what Metroid Dread did for their update. We'll have one hit kill. You lose and one die.
Difficult mode and easy mode, which is also, I think, really good to have in games, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like one of the things I have a deep hatred for is what was that stupid argument of game accessibility versus ease mode of the game. It's like, look, difficulty matters in the game. If the difficulty is the whole aesthetic of the game, then you kind of have a problem in some capacities. Because people look at it, oh, it's just this game just this is hard, not because anything else worthy about it. You know, we should definitely think about how to make the game difficult but accessible. Like, there's a reason why I can recommend Hades to all my friends who've never played roguelikes, but I can't recommend to them like Rogue Legacy or recommend them like Binding of Isaac, which is really hard.
Yeah. It is unfortunate, especially like when you have a game that you really like. You just not just like the story or everything, but because of its difficulty and kind of the spikes it has, it kind of messes with the recommendations.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not always going to be like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where sure it can be difficult, but if you get like a veteran, he can actually do most of the hard stuff for you.
Right. Or you just use YouTube. You know, YouTube helps.
YouTube helps.
Yeah. Or, you know, lordy lord, if you're a, you know, point and click veteran like myself, I could just like, yeah, I'll explain to you how I beat this puzzle, why this puzzle's not good, and why it doesn't work. It's like clicking for hours. What am I doing?
I always hate when there's like puzzles that you just can't figure out with all the details it gives you, and you just have to be lucky to find it.
I believe that may have happened to you when you tried the Monarch game, I believe.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. After I found the thing, though, I'd figured out what the connection was supposed to be, but yeah, I ran it with my head cut off, I felt like, a few times in that game because of some of the puzzles was more annoying than they needed to be.
Almost. Yeah, next time, call the guy who explained every puzzle on Random Monday for you. Call the guy who explained every No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just give you all the details of all the logic puzzle next time I have to review a game that has them.
I'll be like, all right, so this
is that I have beat it and I don't have to worry about logic puzzles anymore, and I've written down all the answers so that no one else will have to either.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll say, yeah, so this is why this puzzle's bad compared to this game I played, and why this is cartoon logic instead of real logic. Lord, I can go to hours about like, you know, puzzle logic in video games. But anyway, we need to tread on to the next topic.
So speaking of some fun indie games, there's actually a big Steam Fest going on right now.
Oh yeah.
That has a lot of fun indie games, and like I think at least like 80% of them have demos you can try out.
Yeah, it's
so they all have a good chunk of just, even if you aren't sure if you want to play it or not, you can just download the demo and be like, oh, this is fun, or oh, never mind, it just looks good.
Exactly. Yeah, the next Steam Fest, I believe it started. Let's see, February 21st, 2022, and it ends at February 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern, or 10 p.m. Pacific time, which is like 1 p.m. Eastern time. Just know your time zones, okay? You know when it ends. But yeah, look forward. If you guys are interested, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. We'll have some content for a particular one, playing some demos we like and giving our opinions of them. And as you may check our channel, we also have tons of other demos we played, so you can definitely check it out for future games. The thing I like about the next Steam Fest is that these are games that these are games you can play, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. You can just wishlist it if you like it, and not to be updated when it goes live or whatever. So yeah, it's just tons of games to try out. Some of these are newer games due to developers that may have a history, don't have anything at all. It's always good to try new things. You know, I'm really excited to see certain games in here. There's a certain amount of games that you'll see later on our YouTube channel that caught our eye. We'll probably talk about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to try some of these games too. I'm always a big fan of trying out new RPG styles. I feel like we have tried to, especially like in the AAA scene, have kind of gotten used to the more mainstream streamlined combat, and it kind of makes things not as unique anymore.
Yeah, I think, like, to me, like, there's a game I wish that Asala came back is, have you ever played the Suikoden series?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I want Suikoden to come back in some capacity. I know there's a game called Critical's Chronicles.
Yes.
I kickstarted that and get a copy of it, but that's like the only type of game of that. I kind of want more games that can come back.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want more games like that. I want more games that have unique settings or the unique style of turn-based combat.
Yeah.
which was one of the reasons why I got Monarch, by the way. Which, by the way, it's a great game. Just the lock puzzles suck.
Yeah. It's kind of like out there logic from what I've seen in the reviews of it. I feel like I would play that game after I've beaten it like 3 or 4 times just to figure it so I can explain why the puzzles are there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm an accomplished reviewer because I read a bunch of reviews where they didn't finish it because they couldn't get past a locked puzzle, and the PR team wasn't always the best at getting back to them on them.
Oh, okay. So luckily that you know, here's a shameless plug that you watched my stream of me playing different games, how puzzles work. Just kidding. But all serious,
That's exactly it.
yeah. But all seriousness, yeah. It's cool. I feel like this too. I hope in the future that these indie developers who make indie games, or at least RPG games, get the funding or resources to get voice acting into games. I feel like one of the major killers of like indie RPGs, some indie games in general, that is very text-based. Oh my god, reading.
Oh, big time. I really
easy.
appreciate when they have voice acting. And speaking of, like, one of the games that I've been kind of test playing, The Battle of Jorth, is an indie game, and they literally have every single NPC voice acted. It's kind of cool.
That is awesome. That is super awesome. But as you mentioned before, you know, please everyone check out the Steam Fest. It ends on February 28th, 10 p.m. Pacific time, and check out a bunch of demos. There's also games like RPGs. There's a bunch of like action games. There's multiplayer games. There's some roguelikes. There's something for everybody.
There's a lot of choices on there. Now we get to the, I guess, main event of Atlus actually confirming they're working on a Soul Hackers 2.
Pretty cool. It's been a while since we had a Soul Hackers game.
Oh, big time. It's been like forever. Like, I think the last time was like a freaking port of the old original Soul Hackers. Like, it wasn't actually a new edition.
No, yeah, God. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool in its in an aspect. Though it's not Persona 6, so all the fanboys can cry.
I will say it's interesting that it's not Persona 6 because it has the same engine as Persona 5, which I don't know if it does the same kind of style of the Soul Hackers game that people are hoping for. Because when you think of like the first Soul Hackers, it's supposed to be like a cyberpunk aesthetic.
Yeah.
And this seems a little too bright and callous.
I think it's more colorful. I think it's dark. I mean, they look like they're maybe it's like maybe a jacket to the internet kind of thing. I'm excited to see it because Shin Megami Tensei games are generally pretty good in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm excited for it. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe let me see. I think I was gonna say like maybe this time it's more like maybe they want to be like Devil May Cry featuring Dante, you know?
Ooh.
But I do have a belief or concern about like them. I guess using the Persona engine, I think it's interesting because they're trying to recoup the cost of using it, etc. Maybe they're trying to experiment to see what art style works because I think Persona 5 was very successful. So they're trying to see maybe this is this aesthetically. I'm also looking forward to the music. I wonder if Shoji Majuro will show up in there. Meguro will show up in there.
Yeah, I do wonder because I imagine the music's probably be great. I don't know if I've really, at least recently, I don't think I've ever had a Shin Megami Tensei game that was really not enjoyable with the music. Because even like SMT5, which I wasn't the biggest fan of in terms of how it played, was still had some banging music.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though, right? So, as I guess you play Persona 5, Persona Royale, etc., right? You know that for some reason I believe they make you pay. I think it was 5 and Royale. They made you pay for unlocking the music or whatever, right?
Yeah, you had to get like the deluxe edition.
Yeah. If they do that at Soul Hackers, I'll be super pissed. Like I can't even pay for like all the music. Please don't do that.
Yeah, hopefully they don't, but I don't know if they will or not. I am really interested to see how it does because it is going to be releasing on the Xbox this time, which is something that Atlus hasn't like looked at for like 10 years.
Yeah, I think they're just swinging a big fence for this because it's an IP that hasn't been touched in a while. So let's see what the number of hits we can get.
I hope that they eventually get a Nintendo Switch port though, because I know there's going to be a lot of fans who are not happy that it's not on a Nintendo console. I don't know if they should, just because it looks like they're probably going to try to utilize a higher end engine. So they're hoping for harder hardware on it.
Exactly. I also felt like too, doesn't the Switch runs on 30 FPS or 60? 30 FPS?
Usually 30, except for very specific games that are like made on the Switch for 60.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if the Switch can handle that, but it'd be cool if it could. But you know, my inner pettiness is like, haha, you guys will get anything. It's like anytime we get a Sony game and a Steam game, it's something you guys get, I'm like, yes, I want. No, just inner pettiness. It's not because I hate you, so you just get a PC, right?
Just note that the Switch is not gonna be your best platform.
I think that's been the case for a lot of ports over.
Yeah, I mean, there are some ports that oddly do very well. Like, let's say like The Witcher is one of those that just oddly does really well for its game and for what it does.
Yeah, they called the right people that time around.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder how many like multi-plat Switch games actually do run really well. I have to look up a list.
It's probably a list. Yeah.
But so that is one thing I'm interested to see. I mean, that might help with the sales and stuff, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fanboys who aren't happy that Xbox is getting it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I generally kid that people get it or don't get it, but it's like I want access, it's fine. I don't care that Microsoft gets it. I just don't like if Microsoft's the only one to get it will be my concern.
Yeah, that is true. I don't like when it's only one specific branch either.
Yeah, yeah, that's about it. But I am definitely looking forward to it. I wonder if the combat mechanics will be similar to older games. They add some new stuff. You know, that's the tree to look at. What they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be very stylized, and it is nice that it doesn't look like it's gonna be like a copy of Persona style, like Persona 5 style, I should say. It has its own kind of style with just, you know, the same cell shadedness of Persona 5.
I was talking about the style. You don't like guns and jazz?
I just mean more like the menus, the like the battles aesthetics, the walking animation stuff. Like all of the like character designs are 100% look like Persona 5, but
yeah. And I guess with that we have hacked our way to the 10th episode of News Roundup. Thank you for everyone who's been following the series so far. For all you guys who are new, be sure to give us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more future content, and maybe our Game Fest demos we get a chance to play them, and share the video as well so you can so more people know how cool we are. And be sure to follow us on our social medias below in the description, and we'll be seeing you in the next one.
See ya.